Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today about some strategies on how to implement the first vital behavior in Beachbody, which is invite, invite, invite. Another way we could put it is connect, connect, connect. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to best connect with your contacts, whether they be customers or leads. So I'm going to share my screen, and let's jump right into it. So these are 5 methods that I use on a weekly basis, daily and weekly basis, and I have found them to be helpful in terms of following up and just staying in the minds of our customers and prospects and leads. So first of all, the 5 methods that I use are invite, follow up, check in, poke, and nudge. And I'm going to go ahead and illustrate a little bit more what that looks like. So the first is invite. There's lots of different ways to invite with that first vital behavior. It's not always inviting to a challenge group, but that is definitely one of the ways you can invite. So you can invite for them to join you in a challenge group. Remember, we don't have to be experts. We don't have to be already at the end of our fitness journey. You're inviting people to do it with you. Okay, not so much, not always, that you're the one who's already got it all said and done, and you're now helping them. It could just be a collaborative effort. So the second is invite them to learn more about the coach opportunity, in particular the business building aspect of it. There's a lot of people who have tried so many different home businesses that have failed, and we know that this one works. Even if you're new to coaching and you haven't had very much financial gains yet, it's coming. And you can look at countless coaches who've gone before us, and we're not talking 20 years before us, we're talking 6, 7 years, a lot of them only 3 or 4 years. So you can draw from their experience, and there's just tons of resources out there to help us share with others about this business building opportunity. Another way to invite is invite them to be your friend on Facebook, a follower on Instagram, a follower on Twitter, a follower on a blog, or any other social media that you have. So one thing about inviting them to be a friend on Facebook or Instagram is some people feel like that's their personal account and they don't want to be inviting random people, and their actual friend base is pretty small. Well, what you can do is you can either create a like page or another Facebook page. Like I had one with my husband, and then I broke off and kind of made my own. So his is like our family one, and then mine is more open to whoever. And the reality is, the more people who you have watching or listening, the more potential market you've got going on, and the more people you have to choose from to be able to help, and you'll reach. The next is follow up, and this is kind of a phrase used for lots of different types of communications. When you follow up with someone, you want to first review any previous notes that you have on your lead or your customer. Once again, this is a second interaction. This is a follow-up, so that means something happened before. And if you don't review, you might forget and restate something that you had before, sound redundant, or miss out on important information. So make sure that you review your notes. You can follow up via call, text, Facebook message, voice message. But when you do, ask specifically about their next step or their experience or their thoughts. So you're really following up and asking about what's going on in their life. And at this point, you've most likely already invited in some way, shape, or form. And so you're following up about that invite. The next is check-in. And I use a check-in to kind of just see how someone's doing. So you see my little graphic there. That's the idea of it. You're not following up on something super specific. You can check in to see how they're doing with the workout program or Shakeology. If they aren't your customer yet, you can ask them something that's relative to their health or well-being, like, I just wanted to check in with you and see if your family had gotten over the flu. I know you guys were suffering. or something along those lines. Just think you're checking in on them. It may not be Beachbody related. This is a way that you can stay in their minds and not always be, talking about something that's Beachbody. The next is a poke, and for me, a poke is just to get someone's attention. It pretty much never has anything Beachbody related as a part of it. You can leave a comment on their Facebook page. You can tag them in a post, something non-Beachbody related, like if you see a picture or a video that reminds you of them, just tag them and say, hey, thought of you. You can like their picture and leave a comment. If you just like, it's not too likely that they're going to actually pay attention to who liked their picture. If you notice, people usually get way more likes than they do comments. Comments build value. Comments make people feel like, like they're important. So don't just like someone's picture if you're trying to poke them. And once again, if you're poking them, it may be because you've invited them in some way, shape, or form, and you're just trying to get their attention, turn their eyes to you. You can send them a quick hello text. Doesn't have to say anything, but hope you're having a great day with a smiley face. Sometimes I'll literally even send just a flower, a little flower icon, something that is pleasant, something that gets their attention. You can send them a picture. You can send them a quote. Just something really simple, non-Beachbody, non-fitness or health related necessarily, but just poking them, just getting their attention. The idea is you want to stay on their mind. And next is a nudge. And a nudge is a message or a phone call or some sort of communication where you really ask specifically about your invite, whether it was to a clean eating challenge or 21-day group, whether it was just about a fitness program or something else, or Shakeology. You want to nudge about that last conversation. So you're not just poking to get their attention, you're actually asking about, hey, just checking to see if you got the ingredients list that I sent you. Okay, so that would be a nudge. You're speaking more specifically. Here's a tip. You want to get visible and get audible. Let your contact hear your voice or see you in a video. This really goes a long way. People feel like things are more personal and you're more connected to them when they can hear your voice or see you. Use Facebook Messenger to send audible messages. I don't know if it's with if everyone has the ability to do this, but I know on my iPhone 5, I'm able to hold down a microphone and it records my voice, and I leave voice messages for people. The only problem with that is that unless I listen to it back, I don't actually know what was said. So it's important to record, have a written record of what it is that you sent to them so that you know where you are in that invitation process or in that follow-up process. You could record yourself and send a short video, just hey, hello, how are you doing? Snapchat is a fun one where you could just send a quick Snapchat to them, and it's quick and it's easy and it's personal. Here's an interesting one. Get on the phone. I know this day and age we don't do that as often, but it's amazing how getting on the phone can really make a huge difference. In fact, you can go from step 1 to step 5 in the invitation process, but in 15 minutes on the phone. Whereas if you only rely on messages and text, it could take 15 days when you're waiting to hear from people. So get on the phone. It's worth it. Also, don't be afraid to bring it up in person. If you are at an event with someone, or whether it's a wedding or a baseball game or whatever it is, don't be ashamed or afraid to just bring it up. Hey, did you get my message? Or hey, I wanted to follow up about what I talked to you about. Or just give a personal experience that brings up the topic. Once again, you're going to get a lot further and you're going to be able to get a better read on people when you're looking them face to face. These methods are more personal, they get good responses, plus they're intriguing, so people are curious to hear and watch what you have to say. And it's important that you keep moving forward. There's so many different reasons why someone may or may not respond to your attempted connection. I've heard countless reasons, but these are a few that I remember. People will tell me, oh my gosh, I didn't get it. And a lot of times we know that that could be true, especially if you're on Facebook Messenger and you don't see their little profile icon come up that they actually saw it. They may have missed it. A text can get lost, especially if you have 5 or 6 text on your screen and you're not scrolling down, things can get lost. Another reason I've heard is that they opened it, but they weren't in a place to respond, so they forgot about it. A lot of times you get a notification, you're in the car, you glance, or you're making dinner, you glance at it, or you're about to, you know, go into church or whatever it is, and you glance, but it's not the time to respond. And then, of course, you might forget. So that's another thing I hear. People received it, but need to think about it. You know, sometimes people need time to think. And so if you notice that someone did open your message, or your attempted connection, and they haven't responded yet, it may be because they're thinking about it. Excuse me. That was a yawn. Okay, and another is because they accidentally deleted it or couldn't find the source of communication. I can't tell you how many people I've had who've contacted me 3 weeks after my initial like attempt of connection, and they say, oh my goodness, I finally found this note. I was looking all over it, but I was looking in my wrong email, my wrong folder. Now, these could be cons, and people might be just saying that, but I, for the most part, give people the benefit of the doubt because it happens to me all the time, and I feel bad about it, but it's just life. So if it can happen to me, I know it's happening to other people. Don't get discouraged. Keep moving forward. Somebody needs you. And lastly, I want to say, you want to keep good records. There's many different ways to keep records, but if you don't, you're going to lose track of your clients and your prospects and your contacts. So there's different ways to do it. You can use a business board, which is my newest way, and I'll kind of go over that in another video training. But a business board just has a lot of information about and customers and prospects' names. You might have people who are a high priority, people who are in your challenge group, you need to pay attention to them. Somewhere you can see it visibly. You can create tasks or calendar. You can use written notes. The online office has awesome resource to be able to record information. And I showed that on another video that had to do with inputting your contacts. And also Evernote or anything that has an alert system. Ideally, you'll want to find something that works the best for you, and with that, that's where you'll find the most success. But these are some of the ways that I've used. And lastly, keep on courageously seeking to stay healthy and serve others. We're doing this, and it's not easy work, but it's important work, and people need you, and people need to be served and helped out of their rut and given hope. So the fact that you're still breathing, the fact that your heart is still beating, you are here for a purpose, and God has you in this business for a reason. So those are some tips on how to connect with clients and prospects and leads, and I hope that you got some good tips.